I don't know, too many cooks in the kitchen?
Maybe.
I mean,
So let me ask you this. It's not a popular take.
Okay.
We love Devin Booker.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He just signed a 4-year extension, $201 million back in July of 2022. He is on the hook to make $53 million or whatever the numbers are. We all know they're big,
right?
Okay, give and take, whatever website you're on. He's a superstar. We all know he's a superstar. But one thing that at least I hate with the NBA, players dictate where they want to play in the NBA. I don't think in the other three major sports a guy can get up and say, "Hey, I want to be traded," and he gets traded. It happens in the NBA. LeBron, we go down the list. Kyrie. Every superstar that wants to get traded gets traded, and it's always before their contract is up.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it is time for him to step up and say, hey, I gave this 9 years. I've been here long enough. I can't win here. Maybe
3.
It's time for me to go somewhere else.
I do not have a problem with that whatsoever because you're not going to get that much if you try to trade Durant. You are and you can't trade Bradley Beal. Nobody is taking that guy's contract and the way that he performed this past season. So he also has a no trade clause. Booker is the key ingredient. If indeed you were going to unload him, you would get the most for Devin Booker.
Exactly. And there's been some talk, some rumors of David Griffith, the former Sun GM or assistant GM, who's in New Orleans. There's a deal out there for CJ McCollum, Trey Murray Jr., who is a superstar in the making, couple future picks because Suns have no future picks.
That's right.
And for Booker. And we've seen what he does in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Boy, the guy puts up some serious numbers when he plays in New Orleans.
Sure.
Not that he wants to live there. Atlanta's another team that has been rumored that could make a place for him.
I also heard the New York Knicks would love to have him and that he would have interest in going to the Knicks. I'm just not sure what the Knicks could offer up in exchange.
And guys, it could be a two-way street. To your point, Rocky's probably felt, look, I've done all I can do. He might say, look, this isn't working. I've been around it. I want to win. I want to win it all. And he might talk to his agent and say, look, let's look at opportunities before we go to the Suns and say, here's what we're thinking. Because you got to give him the loyalty factor for him to stick around during the bad times and good times with all the stuff going on. And he's probably sitting there thinking, well, look, we got beat by the Nuggets last year, the last 2 games, and they fired our head coach over there. Monty Williams got fired. We get swept by those Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm doing all I can do, and look at his future moving forward. So at that point, I as long as they make moves that are going to help this team go to the next level or grow. Do you think this team's going to grow, stand pat as they are now next year?
No.
I don't think they are. I mean, they're going to be as they are.
But if you're a superstar, how long do you give your franchise? 9 years, Book's been here.
He has. He went to one final.
And if he
went to one final.
Yeah, okay, but if he went somewhere else, I mean, you look at some of these big-time stars that got drafted by their team, played their first few years, either they got out of their contract or they were traded before their contract, end up going somewhere else, they win their championship.
Well, I think that's what he's going to have to decide. I think he's done more than enough for this franchise. I mean, if he just said, I want to go in and move on and hopefully it works, I'd say, hey, God bless you, Book. You did a hell of a job for us.
Can you make a case that the organization has tried to find pieces to work with him and it hasn't? You bring in the top 5 guy in the league in Durant.
Yeah.
You bring in Beal, who's a top 25 guy, and they can't make it work.
I don't know, Jimmy. I thought the most balanced team they had is when they took on the Bucks in that NBA title. That was as good as you're going to get.
I'm with you.
With one of the top, Hall of Fame point guards of all time.
But who was the star of that team? Devin Booker.
Well, Booker was, but where was he those last 4 games in a row? He faded.
He faded down the stretch. Yeah. I agree, and they also lost Chris Paul. So that was what did them in. And Milwaukee just played great. Giannis just had what was just absolutely sensational.
Top headlines are brought to you by the Sportsbook here in Casino, Arizona. Bet the game, watch the game, Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. They got 3 live betting windows. They have 6 self-service betting kiosks, plus 8 screens displaying all the betting lines. So check it out for yourself here in Casino, Arizona. Well, it's our G2G Protein Bar Awards next. Charles Barkley made the cut along with